A can of sardines on a supermarket shelf looks almost too simple to question. A few small fish, some oil or tomato sauce, and a metal lid locked tightly in place. Yet in some factories, the sardines are still raw when that lid goes on. The cleaned fish are arranged inside the can, covered with liquid and sealed. Only afterward does the entire package enter a high-pressure chamber where heat travels through the metal, the sauce, and finally into the fish at the center. But how can a factory be certain that every can has received enough heat? And what allows those sardines to sit safely on a shelf for years without refrigeration? The answer begins long before the can reaches the factory, while the fish are still moving together beneath the open sea. Let's get into it right here on Simple Things Revealed. When the ocean turns silver. A single sardine is easy to overlook. A school containing thousands of them is something else entirely. The fish move together in dense, shifting formations, flashing silver as they change direction almost at once. Near sunset, many schools rise closer to the surface to feed on plankton. That is when fishing crews begin looking for them. Before electronic equipment became common, fishermen had to read the water. Diving seabirds could reveal fish below. A patch of bubbles might mark a feeding school. Sometimes the surface itself seemed to tremble, as though one enormous creature were moving underneath. Modern vessels still watch for those clues, but they no longer have to rely on them. Sonar sends pulses of sound down through the water. When those pulses strike a school of fish, echoes return to the vessel. The pattern helps the crew estimate where the sardines are, how deep they are swimming, and whether the school is dense enough to catch. Once the position is confirmed, the boat begins circling the fish while releasing a huge net. This technique is known as purse seining. The net forms a wall around the school. Then its lower edge is drawn together beneath them, closing like the bottom of a bag. For a moment, the sea inside the net appears to boil with movement. The catch has been secured. Now, the real race begins. The clock starts on deck. Sardines have soft flesh and a relatively high fat content. Once they die, natural enzymes in their tissues keep working while bacteria begin breaking the fish down. Warmth makes those changes happen even faster. That is why the catch cannot simply remain piled on the deck. Smaller nets or powerful suction pumps lift the sardines from the purse seine and move them directly into tanks filled with chilled water and ice. The aim is to lower their temperature quickly, slowing the reactions that would damage their smell, texture, and flavor. The fish are not being frozen solid. They are being placed into a controlled pause. The vessel then heads back to port without unnecessary delay. During unloading, the sardines remain surrounded by ice. They move into refrigerated trucks, travel to the cannery, and are transferred once again into cold holding tanks. Inside many factories, the fish are kept near 5 degrees Celsius until the processing line is ready. Every part of that journey matters. If cooling is delayed at sea, no machine later in the factory can completely restore the lost quality. In sardine processing, freshness is not measured in days. It is measured in hours. Soon, the chilled fish disappear beneath stainless steel guides and moving belts. What entered as a wild catch must now become a uniform ingredient. Heads off, organs out. The first major processing step removes the head and internal organs, leaving the body ready for salting and cooking. On an automated line, each sardine must enter in the correct direction. Mechanical guides position the fish, clamps hold the body, a blade removes the head, and another part of the machine pulls out the organs. The action takes only seconds. Automation allows a factory to handle an enormous volume of fish, but not every sardine arrives in exactly the same shape or size. For that reason, some facilities still rely on workers using knives or scissors. Hand processing is slower, yet it gives experienced workers more flexibility when the catch is uneven. Neither method is automatically superior. Good results depend on sharp equipment, skilled hands, clean working conditions, and careful supervision. Once prepared, the sardines enter a brine bath. The salt begins seasoning the flesh and helps it become slightly firmer, making the fish easier to handle during the following stages. After soaking, the sardines are rinsed to remove excess salt. At this point, factories stop following one universal recipe. One plant may cook the fish before filling the cans. Another may place them inside raw. A third uses a method somewhere between the two. 3 ways to cook the same fish. Not every can of sardines is produced in the same order. Depending on the factory, the sauce, and the style of product, the fish can follow one of 3 routes. Route 1. Cooked before canning. The first method resembles ordinary cooking most closely. Cleaned sardines are arranged on metal trays or racks and moved into a steam oven. The heat firms the flesh and cooks the fish evenly. At the same time, some natural water and fat drain away rather than remaining in the final container. The cooked sardines are then placed into cans. Depending on the product, the factory may may add vegetable oil, olive oil, brine, tomato sauce, or another flavored liquid. The lid is attached only after the fish have already been cooked. Route 2. Cooked inside the sealed can. The second method changes the order completely. Cleaned but uncooked sardines are placed directly into the can. The chosen packing liquid is added and the lid is fixed in place. From that moment onward, the fish will never be exposed to the open factory again. The closed cans enter an autoclave, where steam, heat, and pressure act on the entire package. The fish cook inside the sealed container while the contents receive the thermal treatment needed for long-term storage. This is the answer to the question at the beginning. Some sardines really are sealed before they are cooked. The factory does not judge the result by opening one can and looking at the fish. Instead, the process is tested in advance so that every can's size, sauce, and filling weight follows an exact heating plan. Route 3. Pre-cooked in an open can. Other factories use a hybrid approach. Raw sardines are arranged inside open cans, but the sauce is not added yet. The cans are tilted or turned upside down as they pass through a steam oven. As the fish heat, water and fat released from the flesh can drain away. This prevents too much natural liquid from collecting at the bottom of the package. After cooking, the cans are turned upright again. Workers or machines adjust the sardines into a neater arrangement, then add oil, brine, or sauce before the lid is attached. These three methods are alternatives. A single batch does not pass through all of them. What they share is the same final demand. Once the can is closed, that closure must remain reliable through heating, cooling, storage, and transport. The seal you never notice. When the filled can reaches the seaming machine, the lid is not merely pressed onto the top. The edge of the lid and the rim of the can are folded and rolled together in several layers. This creates a tight mechanical joint known as a double seam. It is only a narrow ring of metal, yet the entire package depends on it. After heat treatment, the seam must keep water, air, and microorganisms from entering the can. A defect too small to notice at first glance can compromise everything inside. The amount of air trapped in the package is also reduced during filling and closing. Less air helps limit oxidation, which can gradually damage flavor and quality. The liquid surrounding the sardines serves another purpose. Oil gives richness, brine provides a cleaner, salty taste, and tomato sauce changes both flavor and texture. These liquids help keep the fish moist, but they are not the main reason the product lasts for years. That protection comes from the sealed package and the carefully controlled heating process. After seaming, the cans pass through a washer. Oil, salt, sauce, and small pieces of fish are removed from the outside. From the factory floor, the containers now look finished. Inside them, however, the most important safety step has only just begun. Inside the pressure chamber. The closed cans are stacked in large metal baskets and rolled into an autoclave, an industrial chamber that works much like a giant pressure cooker. Pressure allows steam to heat the cans beyond the normal boiling point of water, but heating the outside of the container is not enough. Energy must travel through the metal wall, through the packing liquid, and into the fish. The hardest place to reach is the slowest heating point near the center of the can. A sardine can appear fully cooked before that central point has received enough heat to make the entire package shelf-stable. Factories deal with this by testing and validating the process before full production begins. Each combination of can size, fish quantity, and sauce thickness receives its own heating schedule. A small can packed in thin brine heats differently from a larger one filled with thick tomato sauce. The thicker the contents, the more slowly heat moves toward the center. This is why workers cannot simply place the cans in the chamber and guess when they are ready. The purpose is not just to cook the fish. The process must also control microorganisms capable of surviving in a sealed container with very little oxygen. Once the required treatment is complete, the cans are cooled gradually. Cooling too quickly can create sudden changes in pressure, distort the metal, or place stress on the seam. As long as the can remains undamaged and unopened, the fish can be stored at room temperature. Once the lid is removed, that protected environment disappears, and any leftovers need refrigeration. The same treatment also creates an unexpected change inside the fish. Why the bones become soft. Canned sardines are often packed with their small bones still inside. During heat processing, the combination of moisture, temperature, and time softens those bones until they can be chewed easily. They have not dissolved or vanished. Their structure has simply changed. That is one reason canned sardines can provide a useful amount of calcium in addition to protein and omega-3. A detail that might seem unpleasant before opening the can becomes part of the food's nutritional value. The cans that do not pass. Cooling does not mark the end of the production line. Machines and workers inspect the cans for dents, swelling, leaks, incorrect weight, and visible problems around the seam. Anything suspicious is removed before it can be labeled. Some cans are weighed, others are opened so inspectors can check the number and arrangement of fish, the amount of sauce, and the appearance of the product. A few may even be cut apart so the metal seam itself can be examined from the inside. Those sample cans will never reach a customer, but sacrificing them helps confirm that the rest of the batch was produced correctly. Approved cans receive a batch code that allows the factory to trace when and where they were made. Labels are added, cartons are packed, and the finished product is moved to warehouses for distribution. The school of silverfish that once moved as one body beneath the sea has now become thousands of nearly identical packages. One small can, two big battles. The entire process can be understood as two separate battles. Before the sardines reach the factory, the enemy is time. Every minute without cooling allows their quality to decline. After the fish enter the can, the challenge changes. The factory must create a sealed environment, deliver enough heat throughout the package, and keep that protection intact until someone opens the lid. Each stage protects what the previous one managed to preserve. The crew finds the school using sound. Ice slows the clock. Machines prepare the fish. Steam cooks them. A narrow metal seam guards the finished food. By the time the can reaches a supermarket shelf, all of that work has disappeared from view. What remains looks almost effortless. A small metal container, a few sardines, and a meal that can wait patiently for years. Before watching, did you think sardines were cooked before or after the can was sealed? Share your answer below. And if you enjoy discovering the hidden processes behind ordinary foods and everyday objects, subscribe to Simple Things Revealed for more stories like this.